Shalom Yasha'Allah. His brother Mapathat. That'd be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. And it's going to be a video dealing with the topic of, or I should say a rebuke on wicked, lukewarm Israelites, man. Right? Wicked, lukewarm, so-called servants of the Lord. You understand? Men who don't really take this ministry serious. You understand? They're putting everything else over the ministry of the Lord. They're not really doing all that they can do to magnify the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is really what a true servant of the Lord should be doing, right? Men who they barely go to camp, right? They do no videos, right? They're not teaching the gospel. They're not setting their house in order, but they goddamn Yasha'Allah in their name, right? On Facebook, right? On Twitter, on Instagram. They have Israel in their name. And they got Come Yashala in capital letters in their damn bio, man. But they're not doing anything to magnify the ministry or magnify the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? And these men, these fake lazy servants are going to be destroyed in these last days. You understand? Brothers are going to be cut down. Right? And before we go into the words of the Lord, I want to say Ka'Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's all praises to the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, and the name of his only begotten Son, who the world will ignorantly call Jesus Christ. But we know him as Yahushai in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. And we're going to go right into it in the book of Revelation. And this is 3 and verse 15. Right? And it reads, and this is red letter. It says, I know thy works, which means this is the Lord speaking. This is Yahushai speaking. It says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. So the most, Salaki, Yahushai is saying, I would rather you be cold or hot, man. Right? I would rather you be fully in this truth or to be out of this thing, man, to throw your Bible in the garbage. Right? It's either you're going to be 100% on fire for the Lord or, hey, I would rather you just not be in this truth at all. Right? Because a lot of brothers don't really take this thing seriously, man. They take this thing for granted. And really, when you really think about it on the deepest of levels, right, that's wicked as hell, man. Right? For the Lord to bestow his mercy and his grace upon you, to reveal this truth unto you, and your wicked ass is damn being lukewarm, man. Right? You're not studying, right? You're not reading. You're not teaching. You're not doing anything but wearing a damn fringe t-shirt, man. Right? And growing a damn beard on your face. But you're not doing anything to really magnify the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You're not doing anything to get this word spread on the four corners of the earth. You're not doing anything to be a light unto the people, man. Right? You're lukewarm. Right? One day you want to take it serious, right? And then 3 months later, you're not coming to camp. You're not reading. You're not praying. You're not what's the words I'm looking for? You're not coming amongst the brotherhood. You understand? And then three weeks later, or I should say 4 or 5 months later, now I think I need to put my fringes back on. It looks like it's getting real. The stock market just crashed, or World War III is on the brink of the rise. I'm going to put my fringes back on. This damn lukewarm, wicked men, man. Right? And these men are going to be cut down in these last days. Right? So it says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. So then because thou art lukewarm, meaning you're straddling the fence. Meaning you're not taking this thing serious, man. Right? It says, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Right? And you're a slothful, wicked, hey, nigga, man. You still being a nigga in this thing, man. Right? Because the Lord was merciful unto you, and you really don't even care about that, man. Right? You care about the things that you have going on, right? Your carnal, fleshly desires more than you care about the spiritual things that the Lord revealed unto you, right? Which makes you wicked, man. Right? Let's get that in Luke 19. Right? Because the Lord said, be diligent in this thing. When the Lord reveals his secrets unto you, right? When the Lord reveals his truth unto you, any man in his right mind is going to want to be diligently serve the Lord, man. Right? He's going to want to be diligent in this ministry. Right? Not lazy, man. Not lukewarm. Right? Not slothful. Right? Let's go to this Luke 19 and the parable of the pounds, and let's go to what the Lord said about the wicked servant. Right? And I want to get straight to the point, right? So the parable is just dealing with the Lord gave different men different pounds, which represents different talents and gifts. You understand? And then now we reading about the wicked servant, the slothful servant, who received these gifts and he did nothing with them. Right. So I'm gonna jump right to verse 20, Luke 19 and verse 20, and it says, and another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, right, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. And that's you lukewarm, wicked niggas, man. Right? He said, here is thy pound that I have kept laid up in a napkin, meaning he didn't do anything with it. He just kept it in a napkin, right? But the actual men of the Lord, right? The righteous men of the Lord, they were flipping those pounds and bringing back more pounds. You understand? Meaning they were doing things with the gifts that was given unto them to win souls and to bear fruit and righteousness, right? But this man kept his pound laid up in a napkin, right? Slothful, lazy, lukewarm, man. It says, and another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. Right? So now he's making an excuse. And that's what a lot of brothers in this truth have. Right? They have excuses for why they're not on fire. They have excuses for why they're being lukewarm. Oh, I'm going through this in my life, brother. Or I'm dealing with this spirit, brother. Or this and that, and my wife did this, and my job is saying this. That's why I couldn't do a video. And I'm doing this, and that's why. Hey, brother's got a lot of excuses, man. But the Lord not going to be hearing them excuses in the last days. Hey, and the thing is, when Yahweh Shai, once you got to plead your cause to Yahweh Shai, those excuses not going to matter. Right? And this is what we're reading about in this account. Right? In verse 22, it says, and he saith unto them, Salaki, and it says, and he saith unto him, out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant, man. And y'all some wicked servants, man. Right? If you being lukewarm in his truth, you wicked as hell, man. Right? If you being slothful in his truth, you wicked as hell. Right? And I bring this out a lot when you go to Psalm 32 and verse 2, and you go into that word guile is going into being slothful. So when you're dealing with a slothful spirit, right, and you're being lukewarm in this thing, you really have guile in your heart. You don't really take the Lord serious, man. You don't really fear the Lord. You don't really have faith in this thing. You understand? That's why you straddling the fence, man. You don't really care about this thing, right? You take this thing for granted, right? And that's why the Lord gets on the slothful spirit throughout the scriptures, man, right? And that's what we're reading about right now. It says, and he saith unto him, out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, right? So the Lord said, hey, you already knew that I was an austere man. So don't try to make that excuse because you already knew that, right? And it says, taking up that I laid not down, reaping that I did not sow, right? And I want to jump down. I'm going to read on. It says, wherefore then gavest thou not my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury? And he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it to him that have 10 pounds. And that's what the Lord going to do to these wicked, slothful servants. He's going to take that spirit and the gifts and the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he bestowed upon that man and give it to the next brother that's going to actually use it, man. Right? He said, take that pound from him and give it to the brother that have 10 pounds, man. Give it to the brother that I know is going to use it. Right? And it says, and they said unto him, Lord, he have 10 pounds. For I say unto you that unto everyone which have shall be given, and from him that have not, even that he have shall be taken away from him, man. Right? And if you're not using the things, the gifts, the wisdom, right, the light that the Lord bestowed upon you, right, to win souls, to be a light unto to the elect, I should say. Hey, the Lord is going to take that spirit from you, man, right? Because what you're doing is quenching the spirit, right? And we read about that in 1 Thessalonians 5, right? 1 Thessalonians 5 and in verse 19 it says, quench not the spirit, right? That's plain, right? And that's what lukewarm servants are doing. When you're being slothful, right, you're quenching the spirit, right? The spirit that's within you, right? The spirit of Yahweh Shai, it wants you to read, it wants you to study, it wants you to do videos, it wants you to preach the gospel, it wants you to be with the Akim, it wants you to exhort a brother, it wants you to do spiritual things, man, right? To meditate on the scriptures, to meditate on the prophecy. You understand? This is what the spirit within a brother would compel him to do, right? But when you're ignoring the spirit and you're just always in the flesh, right? You only caring about the things that your carnal mind wants to do. That's you quenching the spirit, man. Right? You just saying, hey, you just saying forget the spirit, right? I'm gonna let my flesh ride out. You understand? And that's you quenching the spirit, and ultimately, Shalaki, and ultimately you destroying yourself because the spirit is not going to abide within your vessel anymore, man. That's Wisdom of Solomon 1, right? Once unrighteousness comes within your vessel, then the spirit leaves. Right? And I want to go to Matthew 25. Let's go to Matthew 25. Because in these last days, hey, this is what's going to come to pass. Lukewarm servants are going to be cut down. Because the Lord doesn't need lukewarm men. We have to understand the Lord doesn't need any of us, man. Right? And that's what it seems like a lot of brothers don't really get. A lot of brothers take this thing for granted. Right? A lot of brothers is like, hey, at least I got my fringes on. Right? That's all I need is my fringes. And I bring that up a lot because that's the mindset of a lot of brothers. Hey, man, I'm still wearing my fringes, so I'm still in this thing. Hey, brother. Hey, that doesn't mean you in this thing, brother, because you got on fringes, man. Right? You go to camp and you wear your fringes, but you being a nigga. Once you get back into the house and there's no Akim around, you're being a nigga again, man. You're not reading. You're probably smoking weed behind closed doors. You probably still being a whoremonger behind closed doors. You probably on all matters of folly on your damn cell phone, right? And then when you go back to camp with your fringes on and you pretend like you was in the spirit, man. But really you were serving the flesh behind closed doors without nobody knowing, man. Right? And these men are going to be cut down because the Lord said the things that happen in the dark, they're going to be revealed in the light, roughly paraphrasing, man. You read about that in the Gospels. Right? So you're not going to be able, you can hide from man, right? You can trick man. Oh yeah, I just got done reading 10 chapters, right? Yeah, I was meditating on King David all week, right? You can trick man, but the Lord really knows what you were meditating on, and the Lord really knows what you were doing behind closed doors, man. Right? But you can trick the Akim, right? Sisters, you can trick your sisters, right? Hey, but the Lord knows, right? And the Lord is going to chop down lukewarm servants in these last days, right? And let's read it. Let's read this though. This is one of my favorite parables. It's Matthew 25 and verse 1. It says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins," right? And that's the men of the Lord, right? Because we represent the wives of Yahushua, right? And it says, "which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom," and the bridegroom is Yahushua. "And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish." You see that? And it says, "They that were foolish took their lamps," right? And that lamps represent that lamp, Salakia. They took their lamps. It represents the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and things of that matter. You understand? It represents the truth. It says, they that were foolish took their lamps, right, and took no oil with them, right? And that oil represents the wisdom as well. And it says, "But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him." Right? So they both took their lamps. So they had the understanding, right? But only the wise took the oil. You understand? And it said, Salakia. And it says, and I'm gonna read verse 7, Salakia. It says, "Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are going out." Right? And they're asking the wise for their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Because their light have went out, man. Their spirit is gone, right? Because they wasn't taking the thing serious. You understand? The wise, they knew, let's get some oil so that way when the Lord come, we'll be ready. But the foolish, they wasn't taking it serious. They wasn't preparing. They wasn't watching for the coming of the Lord, right? They went back and started caring about the cares of this world, man. You understand? And now when all hell was breaking loose and they seen the return of Yahushua was imminent, now they're asking the wise, "Hey, I need some of your oil," right? And it says, "But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you." And in that time, it's going to be too late. The men of the Lord are going to be like, "Hey, it's kind of too late for that, man." Right? Yahushua kind of already here, man. You understand? Right? Now you got to work out your own salvation, brother. Right? It's going to be kind of too late, man. And that's what a lot of brothers are going to try to do. Oh, it looks like the chariots must be coming soon. I got to find the men of the Lord. I need help. Hey, brother, you already knew about it and you didn't take it serious. And you read about that in Proverbs 1, I believe it's verse 22 on down, right? How the Lord is going to laugh at certain men in the time of their calamity, man, right? Because when he called, they did not answer, right? And they despised his reproof, roughly paraphrasing, right? And that's what a lot of brothers do. They were given this truth, but yeah, they don't take it serious. They don't really fear the Lord, right? But in that day, they're going to know like, oh, this thing was true. This thing is actually coming to pass. I need the Lord, but it's going to be too late, man. Right? And that's what you see. That's what we're reading about in this parable. And it says, but the wise answer saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. Right? And this is just a parable. Right? And that time is not going to be any way for them to receive it, to receive that oil. Right? Which is spiritual. And it says, Salakia. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, right? And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut, right? And only the 5 wise virgins were received that salvation. You understand? And it says, afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, I know you not. Hey, and you lukewarm servants, the Lord is going to tell you, hey, I don't know you, man. Right? And Lord willing, none of us, well, Lord willing, I'm not part of that 5 foolish virgins, right? And anybody that's watching this video, Lord willing, we not part of that number, man. Right? But that's why it's important to pray for a fervent spirit, to pray for a diligent spirit, right? To pray to fear the Lord, pray for the Lord to increase your faith, because you don't want to just take this thing for granted. Because a lot of brothers don't really care about this thing, man. A lot of brothers don't understand how serious this thing is. You understand? A lot of brothers take this thing for granted, but it's the elect, they're gonna cherish this thing. Right? The elect gonna understand how like I can't even put it into words, man, how amazing this thing is. You understand? Right? That the Lord even bestowed and put his spirit back on the earth upon his elect in these last days. They're gonna cherish this thing, man. That's the best word I can really bring to mind, man. You gotta cherish this truth, man. It's nothing like it. Right? But a lot of brothers don't care, man. And that's the point of this video. Right? For you lukewarm brothers that's not caring about the fact that the Lord was merciful unto you, man. That's wicked as hell, man. Right? And if you don't repent for that, you're going to die. Right? If you don't repent and return to your first works, you're going to die. Right? And it says, Salaki, it says, where was I at? I'm going to read verse 11 again. It says, afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. And that's why you have to continue to watch, man. Why you have to continue to watch, you have to continue to pray and stay fervent in this thing, because you don't know when the Lord is going to return. Right? And let's go to Luke. Go to Luke 21 and verse 34. Right? And it reads, Salakia. I don't want to change the topic. It's a spirit. Let's go to Matthew 21. Right? And verse. Just to show how the Lord is going to cut down you slothful servants, man. Right? So this is Matthew 21 and verse 19. It says, and when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon, but leaves only, right? And that represents a man, right? And this is speaking about Yahushua. He saw this fig tree, right? We understand in the scriptures sometimes the trees spiritually represent men, and that's what this is going into right here, right? So this fig tree represented a man who had no fruits, meaning he had no works. He just had a little leaves, meaning he was withering away, right? He might have used to have been a man in the Lord. He probably used to go on the highways and byways and teach and do all these different things, but now all his fruit is gone. He's withering away, and all he had was leaves. Right now, leaves, like I say this a lot. Hey, but the leaves might just be your friend's t-shirt, man. Right? The leaves might just be the fact that you don't eat pork anymore. That's the little bit of works he had left. You understand? And it says, and said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away, man. And when the Lord checks on his vineyard, right? And the vineyard being a ministry of being his ministry, right? He see men with no fruits. Right? No, you're literally not doing. And when I'm talking about the works, right? The works being those fruits. I'm not talking about the works of the law. I'm talking about what are you doing to magnify the ministry? Like when Paul says, "I labored more abundantly." Paul wasn't talking about the works of the law. He was talking about what he was doing to magnify the ministry. Right? What he was doing to magnify the name of Yahweh Yahushai, man. Right? What are you really doing in this thing, man? Right? What are you doing to be a light to the elect? What are you doing to show the elect, man? Right? Besides wearing the fringe t-shirt and going out to camp on damn one day out of the week. You understand? And you got some brothers who don't even go to camp, man. Right? Who sit on Facebook and claim to be an Israelite on Facebook, but yet they're not doing any works to magnify the name of the Lord. And that's what it's about, man. Right? It's magnifying the name of the Lord. Right? Boasting in the Lord, man. Right? If you just sit in a damn house watching movies and smoking weed and DMing women all day with a pair of fringes on, that doesn't make you a man of the Lord, man. Right? And I'm gonna read verse 19 again. It says, and when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. And that's what the Lord is gonna do to these trees, right? We understand trees represent men, right? The Lord is gonna cut down trees that isn't bearing any fruit, because you're good for nothing, man. Right? You're literally good for nothing. It's nothing good about being a man who knows he's an Israelite, but yet he's doing nothing to magnify the ministry. It's useless. You're good for nothing. Let's go to Matthew 5. And we see these men on the highways and byways all the time. You might ask a brother, hey, brother, what's your nationality? Oh, yeah, brother, I know I'm an Israelite. Then he take a big puff of his blunt, right? And he go on to live in all matters of sin and don't do nothing with that knowledge that he has. It's literally useless. You might as well not even know you're an Israelite. Just be a nigga, brother, right? Because it's useless to know you're an Israelite, but yet you're not doing anything to magnify the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. Right? Let's go to this. It's Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13. It says, just to touch on that point, it says, ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savour, right, wherewith shall it be salted? Right? So us being Israelites, we are the salt of the earth, right? If you lost your savour, right, that flavor, right, meaning the truth, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Hey, it says, wherewith it shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing. You're good for nothing. It doesn't matter for you being the Israelite, being the salt of the earth, but yet, you don't do anything with this truth. You're just good for that. You good for nothing. It said it's thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. It says, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on the hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Right? And that's pretty much what you're doing when you're a lukewarm, slothful servant. Right? You have the knowledge and understanding of the scriptures, right? At least enough to be able to teach, at least enough to be able to magnify the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but yet you do nothing with it. So you just hiding that light under a bushel, right? Which is good for nothing, man. Right? It says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be an example and bear good fruits that other men, right, can eat from. You understand? And ultimately glorify glorify the Most High. Right? Let's go to Luke 13. Let's go to Matthew 3 first. Salakia. Just to stay on the topic of these trees. This is Matthew chapter 3 and verse 10. And it says, and now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Right? You're gonna see this constantly throughout the scriptures. How the Lord is going to cut down trees that's not bringing forth good fruit. Right? Meaning he's going to cut down men that's not bringing forth good works. You understand? Right? Because when you bring forth good fruit and others can eat from it and get eternal life, man, from the fruit that you bear. Right? Because the fruit that we bear is supposed to be the gospel, right? Teaching about Yahushua. Ultimately. So this is Proverbs 11 and verse 30, and it says, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. You see that? And the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. And that tree of life really, on a deeper level, is Yahushua, right? Because when you eat of the doctrine of Yahushua, that's how you live, right? So that's really what that's going into, right? So when you bring forth good fruits, you teach people how to walk like Yahushua, right? You're an example. You're bearing the fruits through the spirit of Yahushua. You understand? Because the men of the Lord are only going to be able to bring forth much fruits if Yahushua is abiding in them. Let's go to John 15. And we can read about it, right? John 15 and verse 5, right? And it says, I am the vine. This is red letter. It says, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. You see that? So when the spirit of Yahushua abides in you, you're going to bring forth much fruit, right? And really that fruit is just representing the works of Yahushua, because us being men of the Lord, we're supposed to be followers and disciples of Yahushua. You see what I'm saying? Right, so Yahushua is that perfect example, and that's the fruits we're supposed to bring forth to show that people can eat from and learn from. Is to be an example of Yahushua, man. Right, to walk in the spirit of Yahushua, right, which is love, which is meekness, right, which is temperance, right, which is joy, which is peace. You can read about it in Galatians 5, right, and that's ultimately what those fruit represents, those good works of Yahushua, right. Because when Yahushua abides in you, that's how you bring forth much fruit. You can't bring forth any fruit without Yahushua. Right? And I'm going to read on. It says that actually. It says, for without me, you can do nothing. You see that? So when Yahushua abides in you, that's how you bring forth much fruit. But without Yahushua, you can do nothing. Right? And that's how you ultimately know when brothers is being lukewarm, you got to question whether or not Yahushua is abiding in that man. Right? And if Yahushua is not abiding in you and you're not abiding in Yahushua, you're not even really in the truth, right? I was actually speaking about this with the brother Dan Yala, that I congregate with and do the work with, right? My brother. Hey, a lot of brothers that's walking around with fringes and they're in camps. A lot of brothers is not even really in the truth, man, right? Because they don't really abide in Yahushua, and Yahushua is the truth. That's John chapter 14 and verse 6, right? And Yahushua is not even abiding in them. So really, a lot of brothers are not even really in the truth, man. Right? And you know, well, and that's what Yahushua said, right? Let's go to it. Gotta bring out the word. You know what kind of man, you know if you're dealing with a man that's in the spirit of Yahushua by the fruits that he brings forth, man. Right? This is Matthew 7 and verse 20. It says, this whole thing is good. I'm gonna start from 15. It says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You should know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. Right? What is that good fruit? That's the fruit that Yahushua was talking about in John 15. Right? When he abides in them, they're going to bring forth much fruit. It says, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. And a corrupt tree, they're bringing forth wicked fruit. You understand? It's not the fruit that's getting brought forth by the spirit of Yahushua, but by the spirit of Satan. And it says, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. And it's the point I wanted. Verse 20, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Right? And you know a man by his fruits. That's the point I wanted. That's why you could look at a man and be like, okay, that's for the most part, because none of us is perfect, but through the spirit, you could perceive, hey, oh yeah, this man has to be a man of the Lord, man. Right? You can tell by the works that he does, right? The things that he says, his actions, you understand? And Yahushua said it. Yahushua said, wherefore, by their fruits you should know them. So a spiritual man would be able to know when he's dealing with another spiritual man. Right? And I believe it says something like that in Sirach. A wise man knows another man of wisdom. Something along those lines. I don't remember the exact precept, but it's pretty much something along those lines that a man of wisdom is going to know another man of wisdom. Right? And that's pretty much what Yahushua is saying. Wherefore, by their fruits you should know them. You know what kind of man you're dealing with. You know what kind of sister you're dealing with by their fruits. Right? And like we read about in verse 19, just to stay to the topic of the video, right? Because I don't want to go too far astray from the topic. It says, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. You see that? And then that slothful servant, that wicked servant that's not bringing forth the good fruit that comes when Yahushua abides within them, they're going to be hewn down and cast into the fire, meaning they're going to be destroyed. Let's go to Luke 13. Right? And this and I haven't went into one of these topics a lot, but a lot of times the spirit will compel me to go into lessons to rebuke this spirit, man. This slothful spirit. And this is a super wicked spirit, right? And hey, sometimes the slothful spirit tries to hop on me, and it vexes my spirit so much because I understand how wicked it is to know this truth and to have the understanding of the scriptures, right? And to be lukewarm and to do nothing with it, man. It's so wicked, man. Right? It's wicked. And that's what Yahweh Shai said. Yahweh Shai said, thou wicked servant. You wicked ass nigga, man. Right? I gave you the damn pound. Right? I gave you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I gave you the truth. And you just sitting around keeping it in the damn napkin, man. That's wicked as hell, man. Right? That's wicked. You understand? And this Luke chapter 13 and verse 6, and it reads, he also spake this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came and saw fruit thereon and found none. Right? It's going into the same thing. A man, right, who's not bringing forth fruits. And the fruit represents the good works. And it says, then said he unto the dresser of his vineyard, behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree, and find none. Cut it down. Why cumbereth it to the ground? And that's ultimately what the Most High God feels about you slothful servants. Right? Hey, he's not bringing forth any fruits. I gave him 3 years. He's still not bringing forth any fruits, man. He's lazy, man. Right? A lazy nigga, man. Right? A lazy nigga, man. Right? That's how the Lord is literally looking at you. Right? That's what the Lord told the men in Luke 19. Thou slothful servant. Right? Thou wicked servant. You understand? So I'm going to read this again. Salakia, verse 7. It says, then said he unto the dresser of it. Salakia, the dresser of his vineyard, behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree and find none. Cut it down. Why cumbereth it to the ground? Meaning, why let this tree take up space in my garden? Why let this man take up space in my ministry, man? If he's a damn slothful, lazy servant, man, I don't need him. Right? Cut him down to the ground. That's ultimately what's going to happen to lukewarm servants. That's what the Lord said. Because thou art lukewarm, I'm going to spew thee out of my mouth. Right? Let's go back to that, and then I'm going to close out, because I don't even think I finished the whole scripture. But Revelation 3 and verse 16, it says, so then because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, right, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Right? So if you're straddling the fence, you don't know if you want to give your all to this ministry, right? Or you don't know if you want to, you thinking maybe I should go back to the world. But no, maybe I should stay in this truth. No, but I think I might be able to make more money in the world. I might be able to get this woman if I go back into the world. Nah, maybe I should serve the... Hey, brother, just go back into the world, man. That's what Yahweh Shai said. He said, because thou art lukewarm. He said, I would that thou were cold or hot. I would rather you be on fire or for you to be completely out of this thing, man. Stop playing with the Lord, because you're going to be chopped down anyway if you lukewarm, right? Because the Lord said if you lukewarm, you're going to spew you out of his mouth. So, hey, pick a side, man. You're going to take this thing serious or take your ass back in the world, man. Stop playing with the Lord, man. Right? Stop playing with the power and the strength of Israel, man. Stop playing with Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You understand? And I just wanted to bring out that through the Spirit, right? The Spirit kind of compelled me to go into that, right? Stop playing with the Lord in these last days. Stop being lukewarm, man. Right? Don't be that wicked servant that's going to be cast out. Don't be that foolish virgin who didn't bring the oil for their lamps. You understand? Take this thing serious, right? You have a chance, right? And Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? I want to give a mighty shalom to the mighty Akim Wa Akwata. Tune in to listen to the words of the Lord. Shalom.